Welcome to the Wandering Tangent podcast. I'm BJ. With me is Jeff and Gary. Today we're going to review the 1972 musical Cabaret.
Okay, BJ. So, Cabaret.
Cabaret.
This is...
Well, so...
This is...
so prior to getting started, we should probably reference the fact that we said review rather than talk about, because we're trying something a little different.
I know. We're trying to actually change and get better over time. Something like that, right?
Something kind of like that. So that's what we're going to do from... Oh, sorry, Gary. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was just saying something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that.
So what we're going to do is that we're going to split up our review and the long form discussion, let's call it, our rambling, into kind of two different episodes. And then in the spirit of doing actual reviews, believe it or not, we actually talked about this beforehand, and we actually worked out a rating system that's not just say vague things to make BJ angry.
There's been a mutiny.
Can make BJ angry sometimes.
A mutiny amongst the ranks. I thought I would hold on to this with a tyrant's fist, but no, you guys actually had to develop something real, didn't you?
Yeah, so...
I am joking.
Yeah.
Yes, we all... Okay, yes. We after struggling with the old system, we all took up arms and overthrew it. And so now, BJ, what is our new rating system?
So what we're going to do, because we're us, we can't just, like do something simple. We still have to be a little bit special. So what we're going to do sort of a sliding scale system. So we're going to start at 0, where and 0 would be like a truly neutral opinion. So I doubt that's ever really going to happen. And then if we don't like something, it's going to be ranked from -1 to -5. And then if we do like something, it'll be ranked from 1 to 5. So
yes. So 5 means we loved it. It is the greatest of all. And -5 means the complete and total reverse of that.
Yeah,
I personally am of the opinion that -5 should be referred to as burn all the copies in the entire world.
Yeah, so
burn them all.
So I'm like, on one hand, it's a little complicated, but on the other hand, it does kind of make it simple in that you can tell right away if we don't like something.
Yes,
because,
and using negative numbers definitely shows our nerd side.
Yeah, because because with a lot of review places, it's like a 5-star scale, or like 1 out of 10. So it's like, okay, so like if they ring something like 2 stars, does that mean they didn't like it? Kind of liked it. With ours, there's some nuance we can tell right away if we liked it or not.
Yep.
So, to break in our new system, gentlemen, what did you think of Academy Award winning Cabaret 1972?
So, there's always been, well, at least it felt like for a minute there, in my opinion, that there's been a disconnect between what audiences like and what reviewers like, and I'm glad to see that this has held true, at least going back to the 1970s, because while this is being appreciated by the reviewers, the Academy, that is, I give it a -2. I didn't like it, not to the point where I want to burn every copy that ever existed, but I didn't like it because, oh gosh, I'd have to go into it, and I really don't.
Yeah, so I should also say that so from now on, as we do the review, we are going to allow like light spoilers, and we kind of define light spoilers as in what you would expect to see in like a trailer.
So yeah, in the I actually watched the trailer for this first, and then I watched the actual movie. One thing that I could say is that even though this is supposed to be a lighthearted musical sort of thing, um, they're talking about this nightclub and everything that's all the scenes that are set in the nightclub. Everybody is in makeup that is absolutely nightmare fuel. Just all these people are made up to be super extra ugly and almost horrifying. Yeah.
So
I didn't like it.
I don't think, from what I've read, it wasn't necessarily meant to be like a lighthearted musical, which I think is kind of reason why it was such a critical darling. It's like, oh, it subverts expectations. You know, back before that was cool.
I don't think that was ever cool, BJ. I think people say it's cool, but I don't think it actually is cool. There's expectations there for a reason. Stop subverting them.
Okay.
People like expectations. They're fun.
Okay. So Gary gives a -2. Jeff, I am curious as to what your score is going to be, considering the fact you spent about the last week and a half trying to convince me and Gary to change movies. Because
it's true.
Because you watched it first for some reason.
Well, there's a few things that I'm actually on time with, but one of them is finally watching the movie beforehand. But yeah, so I loved it. What a great movie.
I could tell.
The characters, the act.
How about that? Our first score of 5 from Jeff on Cabaret. You heard it here first.
Okay. What score do I give it? I honestly, the first time I saw it, which was a week ago, I gave it a solid -5. Like, I really vengefully hated it. I rewatched several different scenes, a few musical numbers, some of the dialogue. I kind of went over the characters a bit more. But afterwards, I probably moved it up. So it's probably more of a -3 now. Over a little bit of time, think I have a little more appreciation for it. But at the same time, it's, the themes in it are themes that kind of like upset me a little bit. And I think there's a little bit of intention in that. This film is supposed to entertain you, but then also kind of upset you in other ways. It shows you dark things as well as like happy things. However, I don't always like, I don't know. It's all about people and they're being frivolous and they're trying to enjoy life without any regard for any kind of what can he say? Like any regard for consequences of any kind. They just want to have fun. It's all about that. And I do think the movie shows that, and then it gives you kind of a journey of set of consequences and struggles that people go through. All the while, it shows the difficulty of being in Berlin in the late 1920s, almost 1930s. It shows the turmoil of that. Did I get the year wrong?
Yeah, it's...
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I probably would get the year wrong.
In the opening card, it says it's set in Berlin in 1931.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was 29, but yeah, around that time. So it shows the turmoil and the background going on. So there's probably people out there that really love this movie, and I get why they like it. Yeah, I get why some people might like it, but definitely we are not the normal group to to review this kind of movie, which might actually be a really interesting thing because we're not the audience for this film. Not at all. This is totally outside our normal realm of entertainment, which I think can be good for us to at least, I don't know, talk about, maybe?
Yeah, which we will
or not.
do in our separate discussion episode, more in depth at least.
Yes, but for sure I'm never going to watch this again. Some of the musical numbers are kind of good, I guess. Some of them, but yeah, many things to say. Overall, not a pleasant watch. More of a excruciating experience to go through. And now, what I really want to know is, BJ, you selected this. What was your madness? I mean, what was your motivation behind this?
So I'm going to get to the motivation. We are going to talk about that when we do the more long-term discussion, I think.
Okay.
Because right now we're just doing the standalone review, right? So so I went into this expecting to give it a -5, and I ended up giving a -3 because I was just so bored watching this movie, dude. It's like I could see the emotion it was trying to stir up, but I was just so disinterested in the lives of these people that I couldn't even cultivate proper hate for what was going on. I was just so bored.
Was this worse than watching the Star Wars Christmas special?
Kind of, because I was actually thinking about this, because like at least with the Star Wars Christmas special, I can go back and laugh about how terrible some of these things were and how it like caused me like actual pain. And it's almost worse when something is. It's almost worse when something is boring instead of bad. I forget where I heard or read this quote, but so I'm gonna kind of paraphrase it. The opposite of love is not hate; it is indifference. And this movie made me feel totally indifferent to what was happening to these characters. Outside of a couple, they're like that's why I can't give it more than like a -3, is because one of the subplots was like way more interesting than the actual plot. So
I think I know which plot that is, and I kind of agree with you. We'll get into that in the actual discussion.
Yeah, so but like none of the musical numbers, like I just watched it last night, and and like when I mowed my lawn this morning, I wasn't humming Cabaret songs in my head. I was like, I have not really put any thought in this movie after watching it because I was prepared to feel something about it, even if it was just hate, but instead I was just so bored watching it. Like I'm sitting here looking at my notes, and like more often than not, I'm talking about how bored I am. The most emotion I get out of it is when I look at as I'm watching the movie, I'm looking at the list of Academy Awards and one of them, like, how the heck did it win that? Why did it win that?
It won lots of them, like 8 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cabaret holds the record for most Academy Awards won of a movie that did not win Best Picture. To this day, yes.
Wow. And there was another movie that won Best Picture.
It was
a really iconic. It's The Godfather, I believe. Yeah.
Here I actually have the list. So it won Best Director, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, Best Editing, Best Scoring, and Best Sound.
Weirdly enough, now that I think about it, I kind of agree with most of that list.
There's
really?
2 things.
Yes.
There's 2 on there. Oh, and by the way, it was nominated but did not win Best Picture and Best Screenplay.
Actually, I agree with that too. That it should not win either of those. That's why it makes it such a, in my opinion, not a good movie. Right?
There's 2 I'm going to want to talk about when we do the more long-term discussion, but yeah, I was just incredibly bored watching this movie. So yeah, that's -3 is what I'm giving it. I guess me and Jeff are on the same page on that.
And I'm -2, which means I'm going to have to try to defend this dumpster fire.
No, you don't.
because of that 1 point difference.
That 1
yes.
point difference.
1 point difference. I'm going to have to say that I'm the one who liked it the most.
Join the dark side, Garrett. Bump your point down the score. Do it.
We'll get into the discussion.
Okay, so yeah, that's yeah, that was our
review.
That was our first attempt at a standalone review. We'll probably hammer it out as we go along.
Yes, for those who want to listen to the long, lengthy discussion of three nerds who are completely not the right kind of people to review this.
Yeah, this movie is not our wheelhouse, but it should make an interesting
we are
discussion.
Science fiction nerds, and yet we're reviewing Cabaret.
Well, and I will explain why in our
the grand reason why you inflicted this upon us, BJ.
Why I chose to inflict this pain upon us. So yeah, if you want to pop on over to our long-term discussion, we'll see you over there. And if you're just here for the review, well, I hope you enjoyed. I'm BJ of Jeff and Gary. That was our Wandering Tangent review. We're Wandering Tangent podcast review. We'll have to work out like a little title for this, I guess. We didn't talk about that before. But anyway, we'll see you next time.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay.